This is the Phillies Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Philadelphia Phillies. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Just what makes that silly old ant think he can move a rubber tree plant? Everyone knows an ant can't move a rubber tree plant, but we got Christopher Sanchez striking out 12. Bo Sox said it's high apple pie with the change-ups happening. It's incredible. That was an absolutely dominant, masterful. I am still in awe with that. I am actually smitten. I am smitten with that start, with that game, that complete game, one runner, 12 strikeout performance by Christopher Sanchez. I am in deep smit. I am smitten with Christopher Sanchez right now. How amazing is that individual? Oh, not an all-star, by the way. Now, technically, I still call him an all-star. I know technically he's not, but I still call him an all-star. If you're on the phone, you're like, hey, you want to be an all-star? No, I can't make the game on phone. You're not an all-star. Click. That's stupid. $50,000 from the Phillies, well spent for Christopher Sanchez just to create that good juju. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely love it. The changeup today, just whatever I have said before in the past, whatever we've all said about Christopher Sanchez and his incredible changeup, his amazing mystical changeup, just that times a million for tonight's game. That's how incredible it was tonight to watch him pitch. I've told you guys before, I have my father-in-law staying with us for a little bit, right? He's watching the Phillies with me. Doesn't get a chance to watch. He lives in the Maryland area. He lives in the Baltimore area, D.C. area now, you know. So he's watching Christopher Sanchez. He's like, this guy's amazing. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty awesome. And change-up after change-up just falls off the face of the earth. John Kruk keeps talking about it throughout the game as he's been throughout the season. It's just that every single pitch, when it leaves his hand, it looks exactly the same. And when it gets about 5 feet from the plate, it looks exactly the same. And then it gets 4 feet, 11 inches from the plate. And those are incredible sound effects to dictate and also describe the amazingness of Christopher Sanchez and his pitches, and really how he's been all season long. Absolutely brilliant. By the way, welcome in. This is Locked On Phillies Postcast on the Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. My name is Mark Farzetta. Connor Thomas has you covered each and every day for your Locked On Phillies daily podcast. I got you covered for your Locked On Phillies Postcast. Three big things. Let's start it off with the man himself.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
This is the line tonight. This is actually the Phillies cap is the Philly Fanatic hat is actually perfectly over top of this. Like he's looking down like he's shocked. He's shocked at the stats. Look at these stats. 9 innings, a 4-hit, 1 runner, 0 walks, 12 strikeouts. Just unfortunately, the solo home run by Ref Snyder, unfortunately, 106 pitches. And I got to say, I wasn't feeling so great. I wasn't feeling so great about him coming out for the 9th inning. I saw Ryan Kerkering in the bullpen, and I went, now he didn't labor by any means in the final frame, or excuse me, the 8th inning of tonight's ball game. But I was a little nervous just sending him out there for one more inning. But I got the chills. He goes out there for the mound. Credit to NBC's coverage here because they showed Christopher Sanchez in the dugout. Well, first off, they go to break showing Orion Kerkering. Like, they couldn't have set this up more perfectly. They show Orion Kerkering after Christopher Sanchez gets out of the 8th inning. Orion Kerkering looks like he signaled one more pitch or whatever. Like, okay, here he goes. He's going to come in the game. That's it for Sanchez. Okay, Sanchez, good job by you. Eight innings today. At that point, he had 10 strikeouts. Good hustle to you. Way to be. All right, awesome. And then they come back, and I'm like, well, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Is he still coming back out? And I'm looking on the internet. I don't see anybody posting anything yet. And then they come back from break, and they show Christopher Sanchez, and T-Mac tees it up beautifully. Just goes, hey, just watch this. As T-Mac, Christopher Sanchez got word that he's going to be coming back out. And then he runs out of the dugout like with all this energy, and the crowd goes bananas, man. At Citizens Bank Park, the crowd goes bananas. And then he goes out there and he did what he had been doing all night long, which was dominating. Absolutely incredible, the dominance you saw from him tonight. To give Christopher Sanchez that, Rob Thompson, good for you. For Christopher Sanchez and Rob Thompson to give the crowd that, thank you. That, like, there has been a lot of bad vibes surrounding the Phillies, especially as we wait for the trade deadline. And look, this doesn't change anything for me. Okay, one amazing start for Christopher Sanchez isn't going to go like, well, I think they're going to win the World Series now. No, I'm not. No. Dave Dombrowski, I'll say it again, and I'm going to say it every show until the trade deadline. And then probably, unfortunately, with disappointment afterwards, I'll probably still reiterate it. But right now, Dave Dombrowski is the most important person in Philadelphia sports. He's got to make a bigger move than David Robertson, okay? A bigger move than that. So nothing has changed. But we have been focused on that trade deadline. We have been focused on all the things the Phillies do that don't make them a championship caliber team. Tonight, they got 2 home runs. They put up 4 runs on the board. Bryce Harper essentially stole home, but they had to take that away and give another catcher's interference. Where were you when catcher's interference saved the season? That thought crossed my mind tonight. Phillies played a great game tonight. 4 runs isn't exactly a guaranteed victory, but with Christopher Sanchez on the hill, that's a nice cushion. And Christopher Sanchez made them one hell of a ball club tonight. That is for sure, and he has done that now for 2 months, and it has been such a blast to watch this guy pitch for the Philadelphia Phillies, especially this year. To go through the game, if there was one particular inning itself that I thought, oh man, this is where you really know he knows he has it, it was the 6th inning. Now, he's had better innings in terms of fewer pitches. Like, he had an 8-pitch 5th inning that resulted in a ground out to first, a fly out to center, and a ground out to second. 8-pitch inning. That's a nice inning. But the inning for me that made me go, oh, just forget about it. This guy, he could go the distance tonight. That was the 6th inning. It was a 13-pitch inning. In that inning, he struck out the side. He started the inning with 57 pitches. In the 6th inning, below 60 pitches is pretty impressive. He gets Toro on a changeup. Shocker. He gets Refsnyder on a changeup. Shocker. A 3-pitch at bat, by the way. And then he gets Anthony to strike out on, guess what? Wait for it. A changeup. And I just thought, fork in the Bo Sox. How do you like them apples? Okay. You're all sitting down. That's the way this is going to go. That was the inning that made me go, oh, hot damn, this guy's got it. And he absolutely had it tonight. I just watching him toy with hitters constantly. Like, they showed the sinker tonight before the game, and he had 2 strikeouts, I believe it was, on the sinker. 2 on the sinker, 9 on the changeup, and I forget what the other one was, maybe the slider. Trying to think of what it was. I can't remember. But anyway, no, both of those sinkers. Yeah, through the sinkers there. They got the other strikeouts. The other 9 came on the changeup. But anyway, just watching him before the game, they're in warm-ups, and they show the batting average against his sinker. And opponent's batting average against his sinker is like 304. And you're thinking, those are the guys who just sit there and wait and be like, just please don't throw me the changeup. Please don't throw me the changeup. Please don't throw me the changeup. And then he throws the changeup, and they flail away at it and can't hit it. But when they guess right on a sinker, that's when they have their success. So for those guys to be sitting there waiting on that sinker and not being able to make any, not being able to time it right throughout the night, to get only 4 hits, unfortunately, and him just toy with them with that changeup time and time again, that is just amazing. Absolutely amazing. And I feel like we could just continue to talk about how amazing it is each and every time. And by the way, 2 of the 4 hits tonight, the sinker, yeah, Refsnyder did hit his home run, the solo home run that made it a 2-1 game, or excuse me, a 4-1 game, which is the way it ended. That was a 2-1 sinker that he waited on. And he just waited. He just said, okay, I'm going to get it. I'm going to pounce on it. And that's exactly what he did. How about that for Christopher Sanchez? So absolutely incredible. As far as a turning point today.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Turning point for me in tonight's ball game came in that 2nd inning because, in the 1st inning, really. You knew that Christopher Sanchez was on the hill. You knew you had to get some run support here. Just because, look, you knew you were going to get a good outing from him. Don't let him lose it. Don't let him sweat it out. Don't make it a Houston series all over again, that kind of thing. Like, don't have another 2-2 game going into the 10th inning. So in the 1st inning, they put up 2 runs. One from Nick Castellanos' bloop single. First off, Bryce Harper got another hit tonight, so that's good to see. He stays on base that way. Trey Turner got another hit for himself tonight as well. That's good to see. We'll go through the box score in a second. But Castellanos gets that bloop RBI single to shallow center field, makes it 1-0. Then Bryce Harper gets the catcher's interference. Should have been a stolen. Like, I wish in baseball you could say penalty declined. He is stolen home. Runner safe. Bryce Harper's badass. Like, I wish you could just say that in baseball, but you can't. So, unfortunately, Narvaez gets his second catcher's interference call, as well as a balk, catcher's balk. I don't know if you could rule both, but that's what the box score has, or the play-by-play has. Either way, second one on him, league leader in catcher's interference, not a joke. And it's essentially awards first base to Brandon Marsh, who, by the way, just to describe this play that for people that maybe haven't seen it yet, Bryce Harper's on third base. It's already 1-0 Phillies. Trey Turner had just come around to score on the Castellanos bloop RBI single. Realmuto strikes out on looking at a 3-2 slider that was middle of the plate, and just he took a pitch he should have clobbered. Kyle Schwarber earlier in the inning also took that. Or no, he swung and missed, but it was a slider that he should have clobbered, and later, spoiler, he did. But anyway, in this particular at bat, Brandon Marsh is now at the plate. It's an 0-1 count. Bryce Harper's on third base. Bryce Harper times Fitz' motion perfectly. He has home plate stolen. Marsh realizes what Harper is doing, and as Fitz is winding up, Marsh bolts. He just bails out of the batter's box, leaving Narvaez plenty of space to jump up, but he's jumping up at the time that the pitch is being thrown. You can't go in front of the plate as a catcher as the pitch is being thrown. That's textbook interference. And maybe even the catcher's balk. I'm not sure how that is worded. But anyway, you can't do that as a catcher. He does it, but still Harper beats the throw, beats the tag, and would have scored on that play. It was absolutely bananas. Absolutely bananas. So Phillies get 2 runs in that inning. Now, the moment where you really thought, okay, they're going to get this is when they put up 4 runs in total. That's with the Kepler. Credit to Max Kepler. I've certainly been on his case. Max Kepler got his 11th home run of the season. That came when he led off the second inning with that home run, a hanging slider. And I was watching Fitz in this game, and I was watching him in that first inning. I was just like that. It was the swing and miss by both Schwarber and caught looking by JT Realmuto that I just went, that pitch is a meatball. If these guys could put just a decent swing on that ball, that's gonna leave the yard. Max Kepler comes up there with the slider, 407 feet to right field, 3-0 ball game. Then Kyle Schwarber comes up in the second inning. He waits on that slider, the same slider he got in a very similar area in which he got it in the first inning, and he tattooed that one 410 feet to center field. See you later, 4-0 in favor of the Phillies. They would get just 1 run. That was off the Ref Snyder home run in the 4th inning to make it a 4-1 game, and then they would just ride it from that point on. So that I would look at in the first and somewhat the second inning. You can look at the turning point where they were going to get some run support there for the boy Christopher Sanchez.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Yeah, Christopher Sanchez being amazing. That's what you're going to talk about. Also, this win today for the Phillies marks their first series victory of the post-All-Star break. That's easy. But also since the Reds series before they went out on that West Coast road trip right before the All-Star break. So, hey, it's good to be winners again. You know what I mean? Okay. All right, when we come back, we'll talk about some of the historical significance of all this when it comes to Christopher Sanchez and his utter dominance and just the playoff atmosphere that you could certainly feel was palpable, especially in that 9th inning when you knew he was going for the CG. The complete game, of course. Back after this is Locked On Phillies Postcast and Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. Let me tell you about FanDuel, ladies and gentlemen. How fantastic is FanDuel? Maybe you bet that Christopher Sanchez would go the distance tonight. Maybe you made yourself some money. Well, summer sports are in full swing. Swing and missing if you're facing Christopher Sanchez. You know what I mean? Whether you're all about baseball under the lights or golf on the green. Sorry, I realize I'm an idiot. Or high-stakes soccer action, FanDuel is the best way to make every game even more exciting. You're already following the action. Why not make it a little bit more thrilling? With FanDuel, you can get in on the game maybe while your friends are getting sunburned on the beach. I've been using FanDuel to track my favorite matchups. The app keeps it fresh with new daily promotions and fun ways to bet. It's easy to use, fast payouts. They're the best. And makes even regular season games that much more exciting and feel like must-watch events. Whether I'm watching a same-game parlay or a bet riding in the 9th inning, FanDuel makes it feel like I'm part of the action. New to FanDuel, new customers can bet $5. That's right. Bet just $5 to get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Open the FanDuel app today or visit FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com. So how about this for your boy Christopher Sanchez and what he was able to do tonight, not just for him, but also the Philadelphia Phillies. How about this? Third Phillies pitcher in franchise history with 6+ straight starts of 6+ innings and 1 run or fewer. How about that? Steve Carlton did it, as well as Grover Alexander, courtesy NBC Sports Philadelphia. Not too shabby with these guys. Let's see what you guys have to say about this one and the Phillies improving, getting their 58th win of the season. How about that? Let's see what's going on here in the comments. People are popping off, and I love it. Jeremy, what's going on top of the 4th inning? John Kruk, this box is it's what? He's attempting to dive into the spicy chicken cheesesteak. That did look fantastic, I must say. Morgan Landry, this is exactly what we needed from Sanchez. Absolutely. Christopher Sanchez throwing 97 in the 9th inning. Joseph Grillo, you see that? Popping a mitt, 97. Love it. Christopher Michael, holy hell, Sanchez is amazing. Hell yeah. Seabrook, hello. Who needs a bullpen when Sanchez is on the mound? That is important. I rattled off the numbers yesterday. So Zach Wheeler, 6 innings last night, 105 pitches, if I'm not mistaken. That's a lot for him. Okay, 106 pitches tonight for Christopher Sanchez, 9 innings. Love it. But what I'm saying is 4 innings consistently. Nobody could get out of the 5th inning in their previous series there. And now you got the Red Sox going on here. You got 6 innings yesterday. You got 9 innings today. Hey, bullpen, I hope you enjoyed kicking your feet up tonight. You should be well rested and ready to bring it tomorrow if you're needed. You know what I'm saying? Jerry Von Skyver, now that was fun to watch. Simply masterful. Absolutely. Polar Buck, what's going on? Been watching Sanchez for a while. I feel like a proud mama. There you go. That's nice. Seabrook, seeing Castellanos walk twice coming out of the break made me think he was taking a new approach at the plate. That lasted 1 game. Yeah, swinging like he's Vladimir Guerrero. In terms of aggression, one was far more successful with his aggression. The other, not so much. Vladdy Daddy, he could get away with being aggressive. One of my favorite all-time non-Philadelphia athletes to watch. Polar Buck, hello again. Now we can address the big kahunas on Harper stealing home. Tell me about it. Or is that supposed to be cojones? Anyway, things are Carl. Sanchez should get some Cy Young votes. He absolutely should get some Cy Young votes. So we in all seriousness, did I have his ERA up there? Now a 2.40 ERA. What are we doing? This guy needs that chatter. You know what I'm saying? He needs that chatter. Talk him up. Tweet about him. Post about him. All your social media platforms. Get on the TikTok. Whatever. Jason WFD, hello. We need a catcher's interference tomorrow for a sweep of the series of catcher's interference. I'm telling you, where were you when catcher's interference saved the season? Remember last year? We were begging for things to save the season. It was Brandon Marsh's circus catch in center field against the Mariners to avoid being swept. It was the infield lip of the grass at Kauffman Stadium that just happened to bounce right into Bryson's. I think it was the Bryson Stott's mitt, or maybe it made a hit for Bryson Stott. I don't know. But anyway, we're really grasping at straws to try to figure out what was going to be saving the season last year. This year, it's obvious. Do you like apples? Catches interference. How you like them apples? That's what saved the season. Chris, hello. Sanchez won this game. Great job. However, this offense continues to be next to nothing. 1 hit after the 2nd inning. All right. Well, I will take 4 runs. I will take 4. But you're right. If I'm Dave Dombrowski, who am I adding to this lineup? Because this still ain't going to cut it. Timothy B, what's up, man? Hey, as far as that Christopher Sanchez is something else, isn't he? Yes, I agree. Other right-handed bat and a couple more good bullpen arms, and we could really see some light at the end of the tunnel. There you go. I like that. Mikey B, I was at last night's game. The atmosphere at the park is unreal. You can feel the playoff vibe. You really do feel it. I love it. I was at the first game that Roy Halladay pitched. I was at the first game Cliff Lee pitched. I was at the first game that Roy Oswalt pitched. Didn't compare. Cliff Lee and Roy Halladay. Oh, baby, there was a buzz, man. There was such a buzz. It was great. First game after they won the World Series in 2008. When they went back in 2009, there was a buzz in the beginning of the game, and then we were booing by like an inning and 2/3 when I think a 2-run home run, 3-run home run was given up. That wasn't good. But anyway, Joel Embiid's first game I was at, there was a buzz. Like there's just that atmosphere. You walk in and go, oh, something bigger is happening here tonight than just a game. Yeah, I'm. That's awesome that you got to experience that, man. That's great. Bam Man, what's happening? Bam Man 100. Honestly, kind of annoyed that the catcher's interference call means Bryce doesn't get the credit for that. I know. That's what I'm saying. They should be able to decline the penalty. All right, next year we're gonna have robo umpires, and you guys can decline the penalty to pad the stats. Thank you so much. Catcher's interference tomorrow, fourth inning 4, my prediction. Love it. Somebody did hit me up and say they were going to win. They said they actually predicted a catcher's interference walk-off. I'm going to go ahead and believe them because I choose to. Yes, representing the Phillies from RVA. There you go. Ray Amato, hello, sup, dude? I'm just finished bowling in a summer league tonight while watching this gem laugh out loud. Well, I hope you bowled some strikes, my friend. Hope you bowled some strikes. Yes, big point there, says Jason. The bullpen needed the break. Absolutely. Carl, Castellanos needs a boat oar to hit some of these pitches. I concur. Oh, how about, Carl, how about that? Cagewood already loving Philadelphia. How about, who was, they asked him during his pregame media session. So he's going to Clearwater, and they asked him before his pregame or during the pregame session, they said to him, are you still pissed that you – actually, it was Jim Salisbury, man. Jim Salisbury asked him the question, are you still pissed you hit that guy? Because he hit a guy, I think it was the 8th inning of the no-no he threw in the College World Series where he struck out like 19 dudes. And he goes, Jim goes, are you still pissed you hit that guy? And he goes, I think about it every day. That's what I want to hear. Ari Stein, nice to have you. Thanks, everybody in the chat. You guys are awesome. As per usual, Mark C., I don't think I got you in here. Sorry. Christopher Sanchez, wow, smooth customer tonight. Stott, on the other hand, looks bewildered. Snap out of it, man. Here's the thing, and I'm not saying this means anything, but I will say for a guy that is struggling as much as Bryson Stott has been struggling, he has gotten some good wood on some baseballs and right at guys. Just right at guys. But when you're talking about like a 2.5-month stretch of nothingness, like there's no defending this anymore. I said last night, like Edmundo Sosa's the guy. You're in a pennant race right now. You're absolutely in a pennant race, and you have to acknowledge that you're in that pennant race. By the way, end of the 8th inning, I believe it is right now. End of the 8th inning. So going to the top of the 9th in New York, the Angels trail the New York Mets. So the Mets are up 3-2 heading into the top of the 9th inning. That's how that's gone. Connor Brogdon walking 2 dudes. How about seeing Connor Brogdon again? That was a good time. That was a blast. Oh, what was the reference on the broadcast today? Genmar Gomez was referenced on tonight's broadcast. That made me go, what was that? Come again? Thanks for bringing that horrible memory back. Anyway, thanks to everybody in the chat. Ari, I'll get you in here. What's going on, Ari? A guy who works in the building said, check Google because it counts. The Cowboys, America's team. I said I didn't know Google had an ancient history tab. There you go. There you go. Google wasn't even around when they won. You know what I mean? Last they won. Anyway, thanks for everybody in the chat. You guys are great as per usual. All right. I'll be back with you guys tomorrow night as far as what the Phillies got going on for themselves. Dare I say it, they go to break out the brooms against the Bo Sox on national television. Little Wednesday night baseball action. Jesus Luzardo gets the start against Lucas Giolito, the former Washington National. Now with the Boston Red Sox, was with Cleveland 2 years ago. Back in the bigs against with Boston this year. He is 6-2 on the season with a 3.59 ERA. That's what he's bringing to town, is the 31-year-old righty out of Santa Monica, California. 3.59 ERA is coming off a 5 and a third inning, 4-run performance against the Chicago Cubs. So that's what you got going on tomorrow. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Make sure you guys hit like and subscribe on the Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. I'll be back with you guys tomorrow night for your Locked On Phillies postcast. Again, 7 o'clock start time tomorrow. And don't forget, I'm also with you guys for Locked On 76ers tomorrow morning with Keith Pompey. We'll be talking to you guys at 10 o'clock, so I look forward to that. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Go Phils. And how about that, Christopher Sanchez? See you guys tomorrow. Bye.